And I think when you go into that, you don't know how you're gonna feel. All I could think about was all the hard work. All I could think about was all the effort to see my reflection.
Before the MVPs, before the Super Bowl, before the luxury, there was a quarterback who got benched on college football's biggest stage, told he wasn't good enough, then stayed silent and got better. A coach's son who never chased hype. A second-round pick nobody planned for, who became the plan. This is the life of Jaylen Hurts, the rare superstar who moves quietly, lives deliberately, and treats success like unfinished business. No drama, no noise, just discipline, consistency, and control. This isn't a story about flash, it's about how being different made him unstoppable. Jaylen Hurts was born on August 7, 1998, into a life where comfort was never mistaken for progress. In Channelview, Texas, structure wasn't a suggestion, it was law. From dawn to dusk, expectations set the rhythm of his days. Football wasn't merely a sport in the Hurts household, it was a discipline, shaping how Jaylen thought, moved, and carried himself, like a compass always pointing toward responsibility. His father, Averian Hurts, was a football coach, and that truth defined Jaylen's upbringing. There were no favors in his shadow, only higher standards. Mistakes echoed louder. Praise arrived sparingly. Success was acknowledged, then immediately challenged. From the start, Jaylen learned that excellence wasn't celebrated, it was required. Discipline, he was taught, wasn't punishment. It was armor, something you carried into moments when talent alone would fail you. While other kids learned the game through instinct and freedom, Jaylen learned it through repetition. Footwork before flash. Mechanics before imagination. Hours of film study stacked like bricks, forming habits that wouldn't crack under pressure. In the Hurts home, talent was fragile. Habits were permanent. By the time he took the field at Channelview High School, Jaylen wasn't crowned the star. He forged his role under center, bearing the weight of the quarterback position and the harder burden of being coached by his father. Failures were exposed. Success was quieted. Each achievement came with a reminder of how much further he still had to go. And slowly, he separated himself. Calm replaced emotion. Focus drowned out noise. He didn't flinch or boast. He steadied himself like a lighthouse in rough water. Teammates felt it. Coaches trusted it. His presence alone seemed to slow the game down. When college recruiters arrived, Jaylen didn't chase comfort or attention. He chased pressure. He wanted a place that would demand everything he had, and more. That mindset led him to the University of Alabama, where expectations were relentless and competition unforgiving. Nothing was promised. Talent flooded the roster. Every practice felt like a trial. But to Jaylen, it felt familiar, like home. Pressure had followed him his entire life. As a true freshman, he earned the starting quarterback role not with spectacle, but with reliability. Dependability became his signature. Coaches leaned on it. Teammates believed in it. And when chaos arrived, he stood unchanged, anchored by preparation, unmoved by doubt. When Jaylen Hurts entered the NFL in 2020, he didn't arrive to applause. He arrived to skepticism. A second-round pick in Philadelphia, he wasn't viewed as the future, just a precaution. The Eagles already had their quarterback. Hurts was labeled a backup plan, a footnote, a name penciled in lightly. But doubt had always been familiar territory for him. He'd lived there long enough to make it home. So he waited. As a rookie, he watched from the sideline, collecting lessons in silence, like thunder rolling beneath the horizon. When his chance finally came, it wasn't polished, but it was fearless. He played fast, ran hard, and stared pressure down without blinking. The moment didn't overwhelm him, it introduced him. By 2021, he had the job, but not the benefit of belief. Every pass felt like a verdict. Every misstep echoed. Questions trailed him like shadows at dusk. Was he accurate enough? Refined enough? Enough? Period? Hurts answered the only way he ever had. Through work. Quiet. Relentless. Invisible. Then came 2022. and the league felt the shift. Hurts didn't simply get better, he evolved. Like iron forged in flame, his game hardened under pressure. He commanded the offense with authority, dissected defenses with patience, ran like force, and threw with intent. Wins piled up. Confidence spread. The Eagles weren't hanging on anymore. They were taking control. That run carried Philadelphia to the Super Bowl, where Hurts delivered a performance for the ages. Even in loss, he stood tall. The defeat didn't break him, it sharpened him. The test returned in 2023. Expectations grew heavy. The offense faltered, noise rushed back in. Still, Hurts remained steady, like a lighthouse refusing to flicker in rough seas. Then came 2024. The answer: no spectacle, just purpose. Hurts led with calm authority, guiding the Eagles back to the Super Bowl to finish what had been left unfinished. Against Kansas City, he didn't survive the moment. He owned it. Philadelphia lifted the Lombardi. Hurts earned Super Bowl MVP. Not a shock, but a culmination. Every doubt, every benching, every unanswered question finally met its reply. Even after the summit, the climb didn't end. 2025 brought change, adversity, and disappointment. Yet Hurts stayed the same. Accountable, composed, unshakable. Because for Jaylen Hurts, leadership was never about flawlessness. It was about presence. He didn't rise because the road was smooth. He rose because it wasn't. From overlooked pick to franchise pillar, from questioned starter to champion, from doubt to dominance. Jaylen Hurts didn't chase his place in the NFL. He earned it, step by step, season by season. And when the pressure peaked, when the moment grew heavy, he stood exactly as he was built to stand. Jaylen Hurts didn't earn recognition loudly. His awards came like markers on a hard climb. Slow, deliberate, heavy with meaning. Before the trophies, there was doubt. So when the honors arrived, they didn't change him. They confirmed him. The shift became undeniable in 2022 as Philadelphia surged and Hurts rose with it. Pro Bowl, second-team All-Pro, MVP runner-up. Not just accolades, but proof that skepticism had turned to respect. Then came the Super Bowl, where under unforgiving lights, Hurts delivered a performance that lingered beyond the result. Calm in chaos, powerful and precise. Sometimes greatness isn't crowned, it's remembered. The answer arrived in 2024. Back on the same stage, Hurts seized the moment, leading Philadelphia to the Lombardi Trophy and claiming Super Bowl MVP. Not a surprise, but a conclusion every step had pointed toward. Champion, MVP, Pro Bowler, All-Pro. Yet the trophies were never the point. They didn't define him, they documented him, each one telling the same story. Recognition earned and carried with quiet strength. Now let's talk figures. Jaylen Hurts didn't fall into wealth. He built it, brick by brick. When his name was called in 2020, the money was modest. No instant fortune, no empire overnight. Just a rookie contract and a quiet reminder that faith in him was still provisional. Hurts treated it the same way he treated football, not as a reward, but as a starting line. Then, April 2023 changed the scale. Philadelphia made its commitment public, handing Hurts a 5-year, $255 million deal with $179 million guaranteed. It wasn't just compensation, it was trust, sealed in ink. At over $50 million a year, Hurts became the financial backbone of the franchise, like a pillar load bearing and unmovable. But that contract was only part of the picture. As his profile rose, brands didn't chase him, they aligned with him. Hurts became a name companies trusted, steady as a metronome. Jordan Brand welcomed him under the Jumpman. Hulu, Pepsi, and Beats by Dre put him front and center, not for flash, but for credibility. His endorsements mirror his approach, deliberate, long-term, precise. From Lincoln Financial to Gillette, Oakley, Columbia, Lemon Perfect, and Kellogg's, his portfolio stretches across performance and everyday life, built for longevity rather than headlines. Some deals go further. Quiet equity positions that place Hurts not just in ads, but at the table. Owner-minded, future-focused. By 2026, his net worth hovered around $30 million, with far greater waves ahead, as guarantees, incentives, and partnerships compound like interest earning interest. Still, what separates Hurts isn't how much he earns, it's how lightly he wears it. There's no excess on display, no luxury played for applause. His money moves with restraint, like chess pieces instead of fireworks. To Hurts, wealth is leverage, not identity. That mindset extends outward. Through philanthropy and community work, he reinvests, supporting education, youth development, and empowerment. Money, like football, is simply a tool to lift something higher than himself. In a league where riches often shout, Jaylen Hurts' wealth moves quietly, like discipline paying dividends over time. Jaylen Hurts has always understood that where you live shapes how you work. Not every battle is fought on the field. Some are won in silence, behind closed doors, where discipline either survives or slips. And that's why we're now moving to his luxury homes. For Jaylen Hurts, a home was never a trophy. It was a base of operations. Early in his professional life, that base was modest by design. While the league expected excess, Hurts rented a $2,000 a month apartment near Philadelphia, close to the facility, close to the work. No grand purchase, no statement property, just a space that measured time, not ego, where days could start early and end late, uninterrupted. As his career rose, the philosophy stayed fixed, even when the numbers didn't. In Texas, the investments came quietly and for others first. He bought a $215,000 home in Humble for his father, anchoring his success where it began. In 2023, he purchased another 3,000 square foot home valued around $500,000 in Houston for his mother. Family before excess, roots before headlines. Later, when Hurts finally went bigger, it was still purposeful. In 2021, he invested $6 million into a 6,000 square foot estate just miles from his childhood home, then secured the neighboring property for an additional $2.68 million. Not for show, but for privacy. A retreat, not a stage. Back in Philadelphia, privacy mattered more than spectacle. His living space functioned like a quarterback's pocket, clean, efficient, protected. Minimal design, neutral tones, film study blending into living space, recovery equipment beside furniture. His home didn't pull him away from the work, it kept him inside it. As his wealth expanded, restraint held firm. No viral walkthroughs, no mansion tours. His homes remained guarded, like unpublished playbooks. In a league where square footage is often flaunted, Hurts chose silence. For him, comfort isn't found in excess. It's found in control. Where others built palaces, Hurts built environments. Spaces that supported repetition, rooms that rewarded discipline, walls that held quiet instead of applause. And no matter how high his career climbs, every place he lives serves the same purpose: to protect the work, steady the mind, and keep the main thing the main thing. Up next, his garage. What he drives reflects how he moves. Jaylen Hurts' garage doesn't announce itself. It waits, controlled, deliberate, like a quarterback before the snap. In a league where mega contracts often turn into parades of supercars, Hurts moved the other way. No glittering lineup, no carousel of excess. His cars, much like his game, are chosen to function, quietly efficient, disciplined, and entirely on his terms. The anchor of the garage is a BMW M8 competition, dressed in a deep green that feels less cosmetic and more symbolic. Underneath the calm exterior lives a 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8, pushing 625 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. The kind of power that doesn't need to flaunt itself. With a price hovering between $120,000 and $135,000, it's not a toy or a trophy. It's a grand tourer, built to cover ground with authority, like a long drive where control matters more than spectacle. That choice alone tells you something. The M8 isn't a supercar that screams for attention. It's precision in motion. A blade instead of a firework. Parked beside it is something older, familiar, American. A Ford Mustang, part of the S550 generation, carrying a 5.0-liter Coyote V8 and the unmistakable growl that comes with it. Valued around $50,000 to $60,000, it represents heritage over hype. No reinvention, no apology, just raw muscle and history, like muscle memory translated into metal. Then comes the car that reveals the most, without saying a word. A pre-owned Cadillac CTS, bought used, intentionally understated. No flex, no justification. In a world that expects excess, Hurts chose comfort without spectacle. It's the kind of decision that says value doesn't need polish, and that confidence doesn't require proof. And finally, the workhorse. A Nissan Titan pickup, powered by a 5.6-liter V8. Sturdy and honest. Built for real life. Gear, movement, the unglamorous miles that don't make highlight reels. It fits Hurts's own words about wanting a stress-free life. Nothing dramatic, nothing delicate, just dependable torque and space. That's the garage. 4 vehicles, no exotics, no revolving upgrades, just tools, not trophies. In every choice, the message is the same. Control over flash, purpose over noise, efficiency over ego. Jaylen Hurts doesn't accumulate luxury. He directs it. Toward precision, toward comfort, toward people. What he wears speaks first. His style isn't loud, it's tailored. Custom suits, made to measure or fully bespoke, typically ranging from $800 to $2,000 on the lower end, and $1,500 to $5,000 or more at the top. Pieces built to last, like fundamentals under pressure, quiet investments that don't crack when the moment tightens. How he travels tells the same story. For Hurts, comfort is a tool, not a trophy. Premium cabins on long routes, often landing in the $2,200 to $4,200 round-trip range on major transatlantic flights, or far above standard U.S. fares that average $350 to $520 across all cabins. When privacy and control matter more, private aviation enters the picture. Light jets running about $4,250 to $6,500 per hour. Heavy jets climbing past $10,000 to $18,000 plus. Luxury measured not in attention, but in time saved and focus preserved. But where Hurts truly spends big, it rarely points back at him. In 2024, his foundation committed $200,000 to Philadelphia schools, installing 300 air conditioning units across 10 schools, then tied performance to purpose, pledging $5,000 for every touchdown, a campaign that surged beyond $100,000 before the season's midpoint. Luxury, recast as infrastructure. This wasn't an isolated moment. Earlier, Hurts quietly donated $30,000 through Alex's lemonade stand to help a local family secure housing while their child battled cancer. Money converted directly into relief. For Jaylen Hurts, luxury isn't about what shines, it's about what works. I'm about to get a little personal now, so buckle up. Jaylen Hurts has always guarded his personal life like the football. Secured, deliberate, never exposed. In a league that rewards visibility, he chose privacy. Long before the spotlight, Brianna "Bri" Burrows was already part of his world. They met at Alabama, building something steady and unseen. So, when she stood beside him after the NFC Championship in 2023, it wasn't a reveal, it was recognition. No spectacle followed. In 2024, they quietly got engaged. By 2025, they were married. Love handled the same way he handles pressure: calm, controlled, intentional. While his relationships stayed quiet, adversity was anything but. In 2018, on college football's biggest stage, Hurts was benched at halftime of the national championship. Alabama won without him. The moment was public, unforgiving. like being pulled from the light mid-scene. Many would have fractured. Hurts stayed. He waited. And when the moment returned in the SEC championship, he delivered redemption without noise, proof that patience can hit harder than protest. The doubts followed him to Oklahoma, where critics labeled him limited, until he led the Sooners to the playoff and a Heisman finalist finish. Then to the NFL, where his 2020 draft selection was questioned, until it wasn't. Through it all, Hurts avoided the loudest controversy of all: ego. No blame, no excuses, just silence, then work. Even as Super Bowl MVP, he called himself the same kid who got benched at Alabama. Not weighed down by it, anchored by it. That's the through line. Love kept private, pressure absorbed quietly, doubt answered with preparation. Jalen Hurts' personal story isn't built on drama. It's built on discipline. And in a world that demands reaction, his loudest response has always been the same: consistency. So what does luxury look like when discipline holds the keys? It looks like silence where others want noise, like custom over clout, like comfort used to protect routine, not parade it. Jalen Hurts didn't let luxury define him. He designed it to serve him. Tailored fits that outlast trends, travel that safeguards energy and time, investments that circle back to family and community. It's not about having everything. It's about controlling what matters. Because real luxury isn't loud. It's efficient. It doesn't shout arrival. It sustains greatness. And if you're still looking for the flex, it's right there in the consistency. If this view of luxury hit different, drop a like, subscribe, and tell us who's next. The highlight reels are cool, but the quiet systems behind them? That's where the story really lives.